personal growth to business solutions, there is no limit to what you can imagine. It's time to reimagine banking. Centenary Bank, our bank.
Greetings and welcome to our 7:30 news bulletin today. My name is Luntha. Firstly, let's look at our main stories. Pope Francis calls for policy reforms to curb climate change injustices. First Lady tips people in rural areas to prioritize education as a catalyst to the country's development. Senate suspends Attorney General vigils citing security lapse. And in our special report this week, Rashida Matandika looks into the rising deforestation in Balaka district amid unregulated charcoal markets. So those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. Pope Francis has emphasized the importance of the virtue of justice in a message for the upcoming World Day of Prayer for the Care of Creation. In his message released on Thursday, Pope Francis said God wants justice to reign as it is as essential to our life as God's children, made in his likeness, as water is essential for our physical survival. He continued to emphasize that God wants everyone to strive to be just in every situation, to live according to his laws, and thus to enable life to flourish. We have more in this report read by Tandiwe Mzumara.
Pope Francis established the World Day of Prayer for the Care of Creation in 2015 to be celebrated every year on the 1st of September. The theme of the 2023 season of creation is Let Justice and Peace Flow. Pope Francis said in his message that the theme is inspired by the words of the prophet Amos, "Let justice flow on like a river, righteousness like a never-failing stream." While announcing the theme, Pope Francis urged for support of the victims of injustice caused by pollution of the planet. He gave a similar message last month to the United Kingdom's religious leaders. In his reflection for the Day of Prayer, the Pope condemned selfishness and consumerism that causes damage to the planet's water cycle. He stressed that the consequences are paid by the vulnerable. For the sake of their protection, he called for a change in public policies. Pope Francis emphasized that the destruction of the planet is an injustice that must be stopped. He further reminded that the planet is not an object to be exploited, but a sacred gift. The Pope's message for the 2023 World Day of Prayer for the Care of Creation was released during Laudato Si Week from May 21st to May 28th. Laudato Si Week 2023 marks the 8th anniversary of the publication of Laudato Si, Pope Francis's landmark encyclical on the environment.
Tandiwe Mzumara reading that report. First Lady Madame Monica Chagura has urged people living in rural areas to prioritize education, saying it is a catalyst to the country's development. Madame Chagura made the remarks when she handed over a check of about 131.7 million kwacha to 12 cooperatives from 7 traditional authorities at Senior Chief Masulat Natenje in Lilongwe. The kitty is under the Tukulane project, which the First Lady's Shaping Our Future Foundation is implementing with funding from Spark Micro Grants. We have more in this report by Hilbert Katanda.
The fund is under Titukulane project, which the First Lady's Shaping Our Future Foundation is implementing with support from Spark Micro Grants. Speaking during the handover ceremony on Friday in Metundu, Malawi's First Lady, Monica Chagura, said the project aims at supporting vulnerable communities and women groups in rural areas to be economically empowered. She said this was an initiative to empower guardians not to choke in the course of educating their children.
I'm so happy today to be with you here at Chembegezo Primary School ground in Senior Chief Masula, where, among other things, is to preside over the check presentation to the 12 villages for Titukulane project.
Spark Microgrants Country Director Express Moyo said the organization seeks to reach out Malawians in rural areas who form the larger part of Malawi's population. He said, among others, the organization is providing funds and technical support in the project.
We believe that communities have got the power and the ability to be able to economically empower themselves.
On his part, Shape Our Future Foundation Executive Director Ospin Fulira said the project has so far proven to be of a great significance in as far as rural development is concerned.
The First Lady keeps on emphasizing she really wants to see every girl go to school, and we are so sure that if families are well empowered economically, we believe that girls will attend their education.
Titukulane projects began in 2020 with the foundation sensitizing people in rural areas on COVID-19 pandemic. The project, which aims to achieve sustainable, equitable, and resilient food and nutrition security for ultra-poor and chronically vulnerable households, changes targeted areas and districts depending on the donor and aligned activities. For Luntha News in Lilongwe, I'm Helbert Katanda.
Government has purchased nearly $500 million kwacha ophthalmology equipment for eye condition local treatment. Health Committee of Parliament has been lobbying with government to purchase the equipment, which will see Malawi saving millions used for hospital bills and accommodation of patients when sent abroad by government for a specialized eye treatment. Robert Edward has more in this report.
An expenditure breakdown for the 5-year period ending 2021 financial year reveals that over 166 million kwacha was spent on 46 patients only who went for the eye condition treatment abroad out of 198 who were earmarked for the same, but 152 failed due to financial woes. However, it is now to the smiling positive, as the country now has the capacity to handle eye conditions with a specialized treatment locally, following the purchase of the ophthalmology equipment being housed at Kamuzu Central Hospital in Lilongwe to the tune of nearly $500 million kwacha. Parliamentary Committee on Health has been pushing for the development and visited the facility in Lilongwe after government purchase.
Over $418,000 US. We managed to secure the funds and captured the funds and asked the hospital to procure the equipment. The equipment is in the country. Already so many patients are being saved and so much money is being saved, and we believe that as a health committee we have achieved something that has not been achieved for years over here.
In 2015-2016 financial year, over 28 million kwacha was spent for 8 referrals only against the recommended 37. Over 700 million kwacha, however, was needed to have all the 98 cases referred abroad within the 5 years. Some who were not so lucky due to resources limits have gone blind. For Luntha, this is Robert Edward.
People from Kachenga Area Development Committee ADC under Baraka North constituency say they feel dumped by their member of parliament Tony Nkalande since Malawi Electoral Commission MERC demarcated new constituencies and wards. The people led by their traditional authority Kachenga said this on Thursday at the Kachenga ADC's office, where they invited some of the CSOs in the district to hear their grievances. Traditional Authority Kachenga told Luntha Television that their member of parliament is no longer performing his duties, saying he is shying away from attending meetings in addition to failure to develop the area. Andrew Nandolo compile report being read by Rashida Matandika.
Speaking to journalists after the meeting, Traditional Authority Kachenga bemoaned the tendency of their Member of Parliament, saying he doesn't come to attend meetings as he is member of the ADC. He said the area is being sidelined on many developments that the Member of Parliament promised during campaign. She said after the demarcation, the Member of Parliament allegedly said he is over with the people of Kachenga because he is now at Balaka Central constituency.
Madandro watu ndona kuti tikati tayembere phone kwa kulumiza wake kwa phone. Bezi mezi makitika zoti mwenda kufuna kuambirana nawo ntamene wajango yankha phone yathu. Amayamba nofotokoza iye ndibwera pano panali busy iye ndatanganidwa.
We feel dumped since Malawi Electoral Commission demarcated ward and constituencies that saw our MP Tony Ngalande on the new constituency. He doesn't come to attend meetings as member of ADC, and all developments under construction have been abandoned.
Responding to queries, Member of Parliament for Balaka North Tony Ngalande refuted the claims, saying he has just finished constructing Resource Center and Kachenga Market with funding from Constituency Development Fund.
I would like to respond to the rumors that I have dumped Kachenga and because I'm going to another constituency, and therefore we are not giving them development. That is not true. That is not true.
He said he is still Member of Parliament for the area up to 2025. Ngalande blamed the leadership of Balaka CSO, saying they are using this to advance their political agenda. Balaka CSO chairperson for governance, Duncan Mapwesera, suggested a roundtable discussion between the people with the MP to map the way forward on how they can work together for the development of the constituency.
Yeah, we met them and we discussed the issues. The way forward is we needed to have a joint meeting where we should discuss the way forward on the issues of CDF and other projects which have stopped just because of other political issues by their MP, and they wanted to be assisted in mobilizing themselves so that they can get what they wanted to get.
Balaka North constituency is one of the constituencies in the country that is denied development soon after the demarcation.
You're watching the news on Luntha television and you're with me, Brennan Manza. We'll be back after this short commercial break.
Personal growth to business solutions, there is no limit to what you can imagine. It's time to reimagine banking. Centenary Bank, our bank.
Welcome back, and moving on, the Center for Democracy and Economic Development Initiatives CEDED has suspended its vigils that it has been holding from Monday this week at Capitol Hill in Lilongwe on their demands regarding the mysterious loss of 750 million kwacha that was made for the purchase of fertilizer for the 2022-2023 Affordable Import Program AIP due to what it terms security lapse. Speaking at a press briefing today in Lilongwe, State Executive Director Sylvester Namiwa said the Inspector General Marine Yoram owes Malawians an explanation as to why they decided to withdraw security from the vigils. Namiwa has since assured Malawians that SIDED would do all it can in order to force the Attorney General Thabo Chakaka Nyirenda to show the nation proof of payment as evidence that the 750 million kwacha was recovered and the culprits have been arrested. We have more in this report by Charity Chilanga.
The Center for Democracy and Economic Development Initiatives, SIDED, in collaboration with the concerned citizens, has been holding vigils at the main entrance to Capitol Hill in Lilongwe, where they have been waiting for a response from the Attorney General Thabo Chakaka Nyirenda to their demands regarding the mysterious loss of 750 million kwacha that was meant for the purchase of fertilizer under the 2022-2023 Affordable Import Program, AIP. The very first day of the vigils, on Monday, 22nd May 2023, the Malawi Police Service, MPS, arrested 23 people that plotted to attack the protesters and disrupt the vigils. According to SIDED Executive Director Sylvester Namiwa, the very same police acted very strange on Wednesday, May 24, 2023, around 11 a.m., when they withdraw their manpower from the vigil premises. Namiwa says the withdrawal of security coupled with other strange events prompted the SIDED leadership to raise an alarm that included an immediate telephone call to the District Commissioner, Dr. Lawford Palani, bringing to his attention the state of security at the vigil premises. He said the situation remained the same on Thursday, May 25, 2023, a development that forced SIDED and the other concerned citizens to lodge a formal complaint with the District Commissioner, DC, and the Inspector General of the Malawi Police Service. According to Namiwa, there was no response from the DC by close of business on Thursday, a development that has left SIDED and the other concerned citizens with no choice but to suspend the vigils on security grounds, up until the Inspector General IG Madam Marine Yoram explains the sudden withdrawal of manpower amid security threats.
Have made a decision to suspend the vigils up until when we get assurance from the District Commissioner, Dr. Lawford Palani, and the Inspector General of Police of security at the vigil premises. Secondly, the Inspector General, Madam Marine Yoram, and the Minister of Homeland Security owes Malawians an explanation why they suddenly decided to withdraw security amid security threats.
Namiwa further said the IG owes Malawians an explanation as to why the people that were arrested on Monday, May 22nd, 2023, on suspicion that they were planning to disrupt the vigils, were released on arrival at Lingadzi Police unconditionally. Charity Chilanga, Luntha Television, Lilongwe.
Minister of Education Madalitso Kambawa will remarks called on education institutions in the private sector to help government in keeping children in school as a way of eliminating child labor. The call has been made at a private sector engagement meant to support child labor elimination through sustainable and evidence-based corporate social responsibility investment that took place at Crossroads Hotel in Lilongwe area today. Presiding over the engagement meeting, Wirima said government has already put in place mitigation measures to have children in schools, but there is need for a strong intervention to keep them, as there are many factors that lead to school dropout. Tandiwe Mzumara reports.
According to the Minister of Education, Madalitso Kambawa Wirima, government providing education is one of the key areas for eradication of child labor, as schools are safe places and stimulants of what children should be as future responsible citizens. She said the compulsory free primary school is the mainstay in protecting the Malawian child, and the ministry has put in place several mitigation measures to keep all children in school. On the mitigation factors, The minister said there are washing facilities that the ministry is providing so that girls clean up when they are in their menstruals and feel safe, and a feeding program that is encouraging children to go and stay in school. She has, however, called on the corporate sector to come forth and support the ministry to keep the children in schools, as government on its own does not have all it takes to achieve the goal of keeping children in schools.
The interventions that we are rolling out are not enough. We need collaborative efforts, and we also need public-private partnership, as it were. So we need the corporate world, also through social corporate responsibility, to come in and hold the ministry's hand.
Meanwhile, Teachers Union of Malawi General Secretary Charles Kumjenga says they are also working hard to get every child in school through sensitization and creation of conducive learning environment for all learners.
Sensitize the parents or the communities so that the school is quite important as compared to the work they are doing in their respective homes. In short, child labor.
The engagement meeting has revealed that the sub-Saharan countries, Malawi inclusive, has over 80 million children suffering in child labor. For Luntha News in Lilongwe, this is Tandiwe Mzumara.
Now, deforestation has been a standing issue since time immemorial, and charcoal production has been an outstanding causative agent to this problem. Policies and bylaws have been made to reduce or totally eliminate the problem, but to no avail. Different from encroachment, charcoal production has been hard to deal with, and now the new National Charcoal Strategy has clauses that allows charcoal production, transportation and consumption provided that it is licensed. However, poverty has its own way of maintaining the stability of an illegal market, as not everyone has a license. In our special report this week, Rashida Matandiga is trying to connect poverty to the presence of the stable charcoal markets in Balaka district, where it shows that there are no licenses involved in the operation and deforestation is on the rise.
It is not the presence of the bags and bags of charcoal in the market points in Balaka district that is showing the seriousness of the high rate and demand of the commodity, but the short distances between the selling points of small plastic packaged charcoal that are showing that the commodity is in high demand. The commodity is a reliable energy source among the lower class citizens, whom mostly rely on a hand-to-mouth daily routine, and most of them are not able to buy in full bags to last for at least a month. For example, one of the users who chose to remain anonymous said she relies on charcoal because she cannot afford the other sources of energy as her income is too low.
I only buy charcoal in plastic packs because I cannot afford to buy a whole bag.
On the other hand, Bridget Takama, who affords at least a bag of charcoal a month, said she could not afford to connect electricity to her house because of monetary challenges.
The issue is money. I've never had enough money to have my house connected to electricity.
This market is not provided by licensed producers or transporters. It is created by people who are also desperate to get the daily bread. One of the charcoal vendors, Mrs. Chisakwama, said since she started the business, she sells at least 5 bags per week.
We at least sell 5 or 6 bags per week, especially when competition is low, but I am making profits.
And that shows how stable the market is in the district. Lately, there have been calls for clean energy sources, which include electricity and gas. However, it is even difficult as most people with lower income are living in rented places where they share bills with other tenants and landlords, and using electricity is for other reasons forbidden. Even though the government is promoting the use of gas for industrial and domestic cooking in order for the country to save and protect natural forests, there are gaps in terms of awareness.
I've heard people talk about gas, but I don't know what it looks like or the appliance used for cooking using the gas.
The information gap is not the only hiccup, but even affordability and accessibility of the alternative sources are a big challenge. For instance, we found that Balaka has no shops that sell gas cookers in the gas itself, and one of the privileged people who worked hard to import the gas cooker said she travels to Zomba City for a refill, which is also a challenge. Deputy Director of Forestry Ted Kamoto said the situation of the illegal charcoal market in the eastern region is bad due to high population and urbanization, while on the other hand, he acknowledged the challenges that people are facing.
When you look at the energy needs of the urban sector as of now, you are talking of 76% people using charcoal. And basically this is the very reason why we seem to have a lot of illegal charcoal being found in the streets, along the roads. And at the same time, you see a lot of forest resources being destroyed, a lot of forest reserves being encroached because of these very mere factors that I've just mentioned.
Kamoto also said the illegal markets or selling of charcoal can be stopped provided there are collaborative efforts from various stakeholders.
Basically, what we should be looking at is how do we provide clean cooking energy to the population. And therefore, that now goes beyond forestry. Now we have to look at other sectors that can support this. Because we believe that if we can provide alternative cooking methodologies or options that are reliable, that are cost-effective, obviously people will be made to switch. Because let me assure you that if there were other clean cooking options that are reliable and readily available and cost-effective, I don't think people would still want to use charcoal, because I'm telling you, charcoal is not, it's the last resort for most of the people, because it's dirty and what have you.
Concurring with the Deputy Director of Forestry, CADECOM's Programs Coordinator at the National Office, Aaron Kandiwa Mtaya, said unauthorized charcoal markets are destroying the environment and the country is not doing enough to flood the market with other sources of energy. He said there is a need to bring more options, especially the use of gas, and that the government should take the initiative to subsidize them.
We have been engaging government on this matter to say, okay, if we were indeed telling people to stop using charcoal, can we make sure that we provide the market? Can we bring in interventions that are going to indeed make sure that the areas have clean energy? And also, indeed, in bringing in issues to do with maybe subsidizing the cookers themselves. So, as you have put it, there are there are many districts that don't have sources of gas, and it's quite worrisome, and also something that we need to check if we are to achieve what we want to achieve with the environmental management principles.
Currently, a bag of charcoal in Balaka district sells at 6,500 to 8,000 kwacha, and the small plastic packages are selling at 250 kwacha. The battle to stop the illegal markets, according to the Deputy Director of Forestry, might take 5 to 10 years. The sad part is that the illegal producers are not only producing for fun or greed, but to put food on their tables, and so are the vendors and consumers, as they need the commodity to prepare meals as well, a chain that poverty has managed to keep strong.
Well, that special report from Rashida Matandika also wraps up our news bulletin for today. But before we go, a reminder of our top stories. Pope Francis calls for policy reforms to curb climate change injustices. First Lady tips people in rural areas to prioritize education as a catalyst to the country's development. Senate suspends Attorney General vigils, citing security lapse. And in our special report this week, Rashida Matandika looks into the rising deforestation in Balaka district amid unregulated charcoal markets. As you are going for the weekend, remember that happiness is not the absence of problems. It is just the ability to deal with them. This has been Bernard Mwanza. Thank you for watching, and I'm wishing you a very happy weekend.